You're at our place in the stars.
This is the world you've made yourself. Now you have to live in it.
The end is in our sights.
The future is already here.
No matter how hard we tried, we are doomed.
Say your goodbyes. Brace yourself.
I can see the end inside.
Three, two, one. Hardwired. Disconnect.
I've never felt so alive in my life. 'Cause you make me come to life every time I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you? Right into you, I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you? Yeah, I'm free falling. Can you hear me calling, calling for you? Yeah, I'm free falling. I'ma keep on falling, falling for you. I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Felt so alive in my life. 'Cause you make me come to life every time I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you? Crashing right into you. I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you? Yeah, I'm free falling. Can you hear me calling, calling for you? Yeah, I'm free falling. I'ma keep on falling, falling for you. I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you?
I'm walking around in the circle of life, doing the things I know, walking the same ways 100 times with the same soul. But do you ever try to path on the right side, put it up in your mind? But do you ever try to path on the left side, put it up in your mind? It's gonna be alright. I'm here and try.
Ploughing through the matches with strength, placings decided at length. 8 teams stand before us, there can only be 4, money galore. It's not time to debate, it's time to levitate.
You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate.
Absolutely. Good evening and welcome. We are going to be back with the Blitz. No, sorry, it's the Professionals Tournament. Of course, it's the Professionals Tournament. We are now on to the second match day, where the third and the fourth rounds will be played. And once again, lots of exciting stuff, and you don't want to miss any single action here. So this is the Professionals Tournament format. Once again, I remind you, it's a double round robin format. If you don't know what it means, think of the Premier League. It's the same format, actually. So now that you know what it means, let's move on to the tiebreaker rules. And this is going to be very important, because it's likely, not saying definite chance, but likely that we could see teams having the same number of points. If that's the case, we will have to find a way to sort out which team is better than the other. So according to Wargaming, which Tolian has already confirmed this, we will consider the head-to-head round wins first. And that means, for example, if let's say GV and also ID are tied with the number of points, then if ID won against GV twice, then ID will be ahead of GV in the tiebreaker. And if that cannot be decided, if both teams are tied 1-1, then we take a look at the head-to-head match wins, which means if, for example, ID won the first one 4-0 and they lost the second one 3-4, then they will be ahead of GV in the pecking order. If that cannot be decided as well, then we take a look at the total number of match wins throughout the entire Professionals Tournament, all 14 games. and that will decide which team is ahead of the other. If that can all be decided as well, which I would say it's unlikely at this point, then we will take a look at the battle duration, and we cannot determine that from the coverage we have on the APAC server, and we have to hand over the responsibility to Tolian for finding out which team has. I don't know if it's shorter battle duration or longer battle duration that is a more favorable condition, but this is outside of our scope of investigation, so let's hope we won't go into this situation, and if that not be decided as well, I believe we will see a playoff, and there is absolutely a world of time to do that, because you will see that there is almost like a week break between the professional tournament and the Blitz Ultimate Cup. Right, this is the table from yesterday. So far, we have IDP1 and Risk at the top of the table with 2 round wins. GV with 1 round win, but they won against GRS yesterday, so they're ahead of them. Unfortunately, RN, Riri, and Nomad are going to be at the foot of the table. RN in the 6th place because they won more matches than Riri and Nomad combined, actually, but you know what I mean. This is the timeline for the autumn season. So so today also marks the beginning of the Challengers Tournament and the Lower Echelon Championship. And tomorrow I'll be following the Challengers Tournament, where there will be lots of amazing games, so you don't want to miss anything here. And then Blitz Ultimate Cup will be on the 29th and the 30th of November for the APAC server, where hopefully I'll be invited to stream the first day, and we will see what's going to happen on the second day, which is not something I could share at the moment, but we will see. This is the schedule for November, so you pretty much will be seeing 14th to the 21st being the streams that that will be on that will be up on the portal and stuff like that. And I mean, Blitz APAC Cup or the Blitz Ultimate Cup will be on 29th and 30th. I mean, you can go back. It's on a Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so the first games that we'll be seeing tonight, kicking off, will be Risk vs ID, streamed by no one. Nomad vs GB, also streamed by no one. But Seong Kyun will be following Ruri vs P1, and I'll be following GRS vs RN. Seong Kyun will be following all matches of Ruri tonight, while I'll be following Team ID versus P1 next, and it will be the first time I'm streaming P1 in the autumn season, so I am very excited to see how they play. The maps are going to we start off with these maps: Blackoville, Winter Bayanovka, Canal, and Rockfield. Once again, I remind you, this is the power rating before the professionals tournament, and there is already some changes to this power rating, and I will show you an update after the first stage has concluded, and you will see, especially the top 4 will be quite different, and we might even see potentially, if Nomad loses a couple more games, then they could fall behind Brown, and Brown could get into top 8 in this case. Because Brown, they aren't going to be facing any of the top 8 clans you're seeing here, so this is what you might expect in the end. The maps are going to be the same as the 2022 summer season without Ghost Factory and Hellas, but these maps are already predetermined, and you'll see which maps are going to be as the stream goes along. Babox has made the following predictions, and there is also a prediction that is not included here, which is UQ versus HPG, which Babox has predicted UQ to win 3-2. Otherwise, all of the fixtures that are happening very soon will be here. I mean, ignoring the lower echelon championship, which some of the matches they are not. Some of the matches the teams are not included in the power rating. But Madbox is a bit more daring with the following predictions. Risk is predicted to win ID4-1, which is too by surprise. I thought this scoreline would be a lot closer, but apparently Risk has won ID before. Maybe this is the case why this is a reason why we are seeing such a big gap at the moment. GV is predicted to win 4-0 against Nomad, which I hope that won't happen because Nomad has worked very hard to get into top 8, and I hope they will get something out of this. Riri against P1 is predicted to lose 1-4, while GRS will get really close with RN, but RN is predicted to win 4-3 here. On the other hand, Challengers tournament we have Brown versus SZ. Predicted. Brown are the huge favorites of winning the Challengers tournament. So please don't be surprised if you see Brown winning all of their opponents 3-0 in the predictions, which I believe that could be the case. And is it? But I do believe SZ could pose some issues with Brown. They are steadily growing as a unit, so I won't be surprised if they manage to pull an upset tonight. And then we have PTW predicted to win 3-1 against P2. Rats going to be really close with 180 3-2. This is a game that you want to follow. This is a game that could go either way, to be honest, but I would be even more interested in ELS versus TT. This is an even closer matchup, and we will see which team will prevail in the end, but this is going to be close. Okay, so some of you may have realized something is not quite right, and this is something not quite right. I have to get my animation right. Okay, let's try again. Okay, some of you might have noticed that there is something going on with the portal. Tolian has asked me not to announce anything, not to announce that there is going to be rewards for watching the stream explicitly. But now you know, she has told me to announce it on the stream, so I'm going to do that now. So this is pretty much a test from Wargaming to see if the portal works, if they need to fix something. So besides going into the portal and get your rewards, please also tell me on the stream whether the portal is working, whether you're receiving rewards. If it's not the case, please say it on the chat so that Tolian will see what's going on. And it's also good that you mention in detail what the problem is, so also Tolian will understand what is going on with the system. So without further ado, to get to the portal that will give you the rewards, you need to click this button over here at the top of the page, the tournaments tab, and then click on this big blob of photo here, say professionals tournament. Click that and you will enter the screen. There is only one stream on the APAC server that is included on the website, so just click on this one. This is my stream. If it's not my stream, then please say it in the chat, and I hope Wargaming will fix it in time. Then you will be brought to this page, and you must log in. If you don't log in, you won't get the rewards, and make sure you do that. I'm not sure if they have changed it now, but last time I need to enable the targeting cookies in order to watch the stream. Otherwise, you will see a grey screen. But I'm not sure if that's fixed, so that could be an optional step if you're worried about Wargaming stealing your info. But here is the end. So pretty much I have gone through everything. So just wait a moment, I will bring you to the introduction of the teams. Alright, we now go in to the match immediately. We have missed a couple of seconds due to my time management being a bit poor, but this is GRS versus RN, which my scoreboard is looking right. So not much has happened here, with RN already having the Papi spotting in the middle. But look at ARWV in an even more interesting position, which I have never seen anyone do that. He has, however, spotted both Trash and Iron Bread Tank, and he's getting out of here. The cap points are going to go in favor of GRS because they took C. Once again, GRS loves to get their cap lead, and as exemplified here, C is going to be the cap they got first, and RN will get A next, which means they are just only one kill away from flipping the cap points. So GRS just needs to defend, and Blackoville is a little bit of a tough map to defend because the problem is it's quite open. So GRS has to be really careful of their hit points. They don't want to lose unnecessary hit points, while RN, they just need to get a really good push. And I'm very sure that RN has trained a lot of times on how to rotate and get the cap lead back and get all the 7 kills. But it's not nice to see the World and also Romeo already dropping hit points. But I'm confident about RN because they have done some really good rotations before. But they have to stop dropping hit points because this can be quite bad for them. Oh, Cujo took a hit there. This is the hit that RN needs because RN currently is more than 1,000 hit points of deficit. And this is not looking good for... No, I mean, it's still quite equal in terms of hit points. Not evil. None of the teams here are evil. We're looking at the Japanese story, and I don't want to villainize anyone here. Everyone is good. But look at 7010 dropping hit points. Iron Bread Tank very aggressive there. He has to be really careful, but 7010 potentially caught out of position. And RN is very spread out at the moment, so if GRS decides to make a counter push, they could potentially break through RN. It's not out of the blue here. I would say RN is still trailing behind, but the cap points are increasing slowly. But now, just only less than a minute to go before RN absolutely needs to make a move. But they have done okay in chipping away hit points of GRS, but probably not enough just yet. And they are quite spread out still. But Heroes could be an isolated target here. Shots been fired, and I think they're going for Heroes now. Lancelot coming below, bounces onto Heroes, Trash, and also Papi also coming to support Lancelot. But they have dropped so many hit points in doing that here. This can be very interesting. But Lancelot bounces again. Oh dear, RN, the focus fire needs to be on point because they... which tank are they going for? Heroes or Chapman now? GRS is doing a bit better in getting the hit points out of the way. At the same time, we're seeing RN pushing on to C. I think they need to clear out 2564 as soon as possible. But this can be interesting. The World is now coming in to support the team. GRS, they need to find a way to stop RN from getting all the tanks here. 2564 is trying to stay alive as long as they could. But we could see Lancelot finally dead. And Trash puts a good shot onto Chapman now, but the World is absolutely getting shut down. 2564 is now dead. I think RN is trying to get C to stop GRS from getting the cap lead. Papi has to run away because GRS has made a move to shut down their spawn. And now with RN getting C, this is going to be an interesting final moments here. RN just need to stay alive. They will potentially get the cap lead back, but maybe not because ARWV has now dropped into CA. And with also Cujo getting B, Wado, can he stay alive? Papi kind of sniping from behind, but they really need to get a tank out. I would say it 7710 or Cujo, they have to decide now. Romeo on one shot, Iron Bread Tank also on one shot. Cujo, oh, Cujo gets killed, that's big. Because now RN, they also lost Iron Bread Tank. Papi has to put a good shot into 771, but 771 will land that shot onto Happy. It's all over for RN. RN will lose the first match. Oh my lord, this is close. Well done to GRS. Great job in shutting down the tanks near the spawn, and I think RN some crucial bounces near GRS spawn. It's a good move, but they were so slow in killing the tanks out, which allowed GRS to respond, and they were seemingly confused with the focus fire there as well. I think RN has not warmed up here, and this is a rough start for them. On the other hand, the tanks that pushed C, it was okay. The efficiency was good, and I don't think that I think it was pretty much RN just did not do well on GR spawn. The push itself is alright. It's a call that I think all the good teams will make, and it's a call that I mean it's a viable move. It's just that they weren't able to assassinate some of the isolated tanks of GRS, and that proved to be the downfall of RN here. 5 tanks doing more than 2k for GRS, but RN only 3 tanks there doing more than 2k. We go back to Blackoville, and so far GRS is leading 1-0, and GRS looking a lot more ruthless today. I think they're doing better than yesterday here. Their efficiency is better than RN last match, and I love to see that. And thank you for the 35 people watching so far. And we'll go back to Blackoville, and this time RN, they need to sort out their communication. It's like GB. It's not that they can't rotate or they can't defocus fire, but sometimes they have lapses in communication, and that is sometimes hurting them. They really need to concentrate. Yesterday they were very close against ID, and I would say they could have won against ID. But today is a different day. They have to work hard to win against GRS. Now we're seeing GRS going to send the entire team over to C, but we could see potentially crossfire coming in. Romeo spotted. Oh, Lean has been shot at, but I think there are some bounces there. That means GRS was only able to lose some hit points here. Only 1 tank losing hit points. Again, RN does not have the hit point pool lead at the start because they have taken 2 T100 LTs. The cap points once again in favor of GRS because they captured C, but Chatban now is trying to get B. Are they letting them? Oh, Chatban now is hesitating on getting B. He has to decide whether or not to get B. But the world has shot. I think Chatban now, you can go for B. I think the world will get absolutely shut down if he dares to try to reset B. But at the same time, Trash is there. RN needs to figure out what to do here. But Chatban now is seemingly a bit too afraid of capturing B. I would have just gone that. I think he could have taken that and put more pressure onto RN. But they're playing it safe because they have the cap lead. They don't want to lose unnecessary hit points. So there is that. But that also gives the opportunity for RN to get back the cap lead if they happen to kill 1 tank. So it's pretty much a gamble here for GRS either way, to be honest with you. So we are seeing RN gradually pushing the line forward, trying to figure out where most of the tanks of GRS are, but at the same time, RN, they are losing hit points. Oh, but while they're also losing some more hit points here, will RN look to make a push onto here? This is a move that I could call. Oh my goodness me, Iron Brat tank got absolutely shot at here. Now down to 1,444 hit points, but Lead also gets absolutely smacked in the face. So the hit points are still in favor of GRS. RN is very leaky, but we are seeing a move over here. This is a move that I would call, but Lancelot, he is having a terrible day so far. He has to get all the shots in now. It's not the time to hesitate. It's time to levitate. And Wadu is going to put more shots onto Hirus. Hirus is now in trouble. And RN, the other tanks there, they have to stay behind and beware of GRS trying to push onto RN spawn. But RN at the same time is hesitating on whether to push onto Hirus or not. Hirus is really taking the time to pull back and get back into safety. And RN is not bring back the hit point pool of hit points here, with Romeo now in deep trouble. GRS is now pushing Romeo. Romeo, can he survive though? This is going to be interesting. But at the same time, Hirus gets pushed. And this is a good call from RN, but RN, they absolutely have to stay alive. Not sure if that's going to happen here. Trash has to connect with the rest of RN team. Chatban now going to be, I think the world needs to drop down and get Chatban now out of the way. Romeo is going to be in deep trouble. Finally, Hirus gets taken down by Poppy. And I think RN steadily is bringing everything together, but Trash is in deep trouble. Oh, and he gets shut down as well. It's now 6 versus 5. Can RN do this? GRS is still having the hit point pool lead, and they also have the cap lead, so this is looking really good for them. Chatban now puts a good shot into the world, but at the same time, Iron Red Tank is going to be killed here. Bring this to a 5 versus 4. The world has dropped down into B. 7710 is now isolated. Both teams have tanks isolated for the other team to pick up. And with B getting captured, C getting captured, the cap points are not going in favor of GRS very soon. But can the world get B? Oh, it's a bounce that the world absolutely needs. This is still anyone's game to call. The world absolutely needs to put all the shells onto Type 71. But it's a bounce again. Oh my lord. RN. Those bounces are... It's really hurting them. But they found lead isolated here. But they're bouncing shots again. RN. What happened to their shot efficiency tonight? They are bouncing shells left, right, and center. And Poppy is on fire. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Lean, if he kills Poppy, that would be good. But Cujo would be the tank killing off Poppy here. Lean is dead. Wado on one shot. I think this game will go to GRS once again. Lancelot coming from the other side, trying to take out 2564, but I think it's all over for RN. GRS, great move in pushing onto RN spawn. RN, I think they've made some timely moves. Problem is they bounced too many shells. It hurt them a lot in terms of in the shot efficiency. Had they put more shells into GRS, this game could have panned out a lot differently. But also at the same time, both teams are have trouble in getting the team in one single unit. Both teams were able to isolate tanks that were left behind, and especially RN, I would say they should have they should have prevented that too. I mean, GRS as well, and it all came down to the final moments again. RN tried to get all 3 caps, but it wasn't successful. GRS isolated the tanks really nicely, and well, RN, they need to wake up, because GRS so far is doing a better job tonight, and it's definitely better than yesterday, I would say. Yesterday, GRS looked like their focus fire is not quite there, but tonight it's looking really good. RN, I mean, this is looking like they could go down a spiral now, and they need to swim out of that rip current. Not the time to go on tilt. They are so far at 0 round wins, and they absolutely needed that win tonight. If they don't, they will have trouble getting into the top 4, and I hope they will do better in the next one. Now, RN is going to take double Type 71s, double 3s, 60 TP amounts, and the T100 LTGR is going for quadruple Type 71, 215B, IS4 and also a T100 LT. We are now on Wintermine North. It's a similar map as Blackoville. So I would be interested to see if GRS will continue to win against RN. Will they continue to be on a good form? We'll find out now. Alright, so we are seeing R3-4 trying to put shots onto nothing. He's going to spot tanks of iron, which are going into A as well. So R3-4 is going to be really important here. We are seeing some light bulbs being lit up. But Papi, interesting call. Why, I don't understand. That could have been a risky move there because he has gone forward, not backwards. But Trash has already taken hits while moving past. But here is also gets shot at as well. But if GRS decided to rush onto the mouse, then I think it's quite it's a no-brainer that RN will push. And will they actually go and push? Are they going to be okay? I think it's going to be a call for RN to push because 4 tanks in the middle are spotted. They only have 1 tank there. And there are 4 tanks in the corner, and this is exactly what they are doing right now. They have to share the hit points though, because Trash and also Iron Bread tank have lower hit points. Wilder has to come forward here. If they hesitate, this is not going to be good news for RN. And RN, they really need to be careful here. They are now losing hit points, and now Lancelot's coming in to save the day. They're trying to fortify the push near the southwestern corner. They don't want to make a bad move. Here is down. Here is down. Important kill right here. But Iron Bread tank is not going to be long for this one as well. And the world needs to start coming in to be bullish there. GRS has focused their attention onto the tanks near the southwestern corner. And all RN needs to do is to get the focus fire in. And Trash is getting shut down here at this point. Lead is also quite low. Wadu bounces onto Lead and Lead's down to a 1-shot here. Lancelot has come in, but will put a good shot into 2564. But also Lead is down. They're trying to get 2564 out of the way as well. Hippos are in huge favor of RN here. Cujo is dead. And with 2564 also dead, Iron Breath is dead. RN is winning the fight in the Raw. I think they have better focus fire here as well. Trash puts a good shot to Chapman now, and also Wadu will put that shot to kill Chapman now. That's the case. And R3-4, despite capturing B, I'm not sure if he's the one capturing B, will find it difficult to run away. There, the world, and also Poppy shutting that down. 7010 will not last long here, and Trash kills 7010, and RN certainly will win this one, bringing it to a 2-1. And as I said, they were going down with Spiral, but this is more like it. This is a good match for RN. Great focus fire, great teamwork. It's definitely a game that they deserve to win, as exemplified in the hit point, in the damage sharing as well. 6 times doing more than 2k. Absolute amazing. And I certainly didn't follow the world here because he has done an important job here, putting more than 3k damage when he has pretty much 4 tanks in front of him. So credits to RN. I think GRS got a bit distracted there potentially, but maybe not. I think they just have to tidy up their focus fire in the southwestern corner. I think they have positions that could confuse RN, but RN is heavily focused onto the hit list they have, and they have an agenda to sort out the hit list, and that's really great to see. So well done to RM. They are now getting 1 match back, and this is going to bring it close here. And your predict that our GRS will win, and there is 55% of you voting for GRS. Okay. We will go back to Wintermine Novka and we'll find out what's going to happen here. Let's go. Let's go up high and see what both teams are doing here on the Wintermine Novka again. GRS on the south spawn this time, RN from the north spawn. I would say RN this time will go again to A. Are they going to take the corner like last time? Or will they have a different strategy? GRS this time is going the other way, they're going into C. And Poppy is going to be the one getting all the spots up. And I think some issues with the driving. Has to drop back down. Oh my lord, that was a blind fire that almost hit something. But Poppy will not be happy when he finds out that 2 Type 71s will find him. Run! Run, Poppy, run! Run! What about GRS? Are they not going to get Poppy out of the way? Oh! Dodges a shot! Poppy, you lucky little fella. But he takes a hit. Drives to the right. And will go out relatively unscathed. You're so lucky, Poppy. You would have been shut down if the Type 71s decided to go forward and put 80 shells at your back. Whew. At the same time, Chapman now got shot at. So this is pretty much an equal start for both teams. Once again, GRS got the cap lead, and this is to no surprise, of course. At the same time, we might see RN making a counter push onto the northwestern corner. They are spotted, however. They stopped because they don't know if there are going to be an entire GRS team there. But look at this. Oh, the spawn-based strategy has been discovered by RN. They know there are double Type 71s back there. They didn't spot Cujo back there as well. So this information can be important though. Red Tank is now spotted. Will these 3 tanks? Oh, they're now coming for Iron Red Tank. At the same time, RN, they're coming for the 2 tanks there. This is all about individual skills here. Poppy is running away. RN looks very spread out, but so is GRS as well. It's all about the focus fire. It's all about getting the efficiency here. But GRS, with them being very hesitant, they're trying to get Lancelot. Very interesting call. But RN is doing a better job on the windmill side. Trash putting a shot to 2564 while going for Chapman now. And you can see RN is going to get the tanks near the windmill first. But GRS is having some huge problems trying to get Lancelot. Lancelot will go down very soon. Romeo is down to 1 shot. 2564 will get Romeo out. And Trash bounces onto Chapman now. RN actually might lose the side, the windmill side here. This can still go either way, to be honest with you. Chapman now is a 1 shot. 2564 is finally dead. Chapman now needs the bounces here. Wado gets Chapman now. That's an important kill. It's 2 vs 2, but the world has now come in to save the day. At the same time, Poppy and Iron Red Tank still doing well on the A side. GRS has pretty much fluffed the advantage on the A side, to be honest with you. But RN at the same time does not have the hit point pool advantage, so this can still go either way. 7710 is now the focus, and Poppy is now coming in to save the day. But Lee will put a good shot onto Wado. Wado kills 7710. That's important here. Arrivederci is trying to get Wado off the way, but it's going to be unsuccessful. Wado needs to go back to safety. Going to use the rock as a shield, and I think that works. But the ram from the world doesn't help. Cujo gets Wado out of the way. GRS finally got the southwestern side. It's a 3 vs 2. It's still anyone's game to call, to be honest with you. GRS has the advantage though, so that can be very important. But Poppy is now 1 shot, and the world will try his best to block any shell coming into. Oh no, Poppy is dead. The world, can he do it though? The Capos are in favor of GRS at the moment here, but the Mouse cannot defend from all angles. With the world getting shot by both sides, this is going to GRS and RN. They had an advantage over the windmill side, but again the bounces were going against them despite their brave efforts in buying as much time as possible near the A side. That brings GRS to a match point. Now they're leading 3-1. Well done to GRS. 5 tanks doing more than 2k and 4 tanks doing more than 2k for RN, and this is not looking good for RN at all. We're now on to Canal. Let's hope more people will join in. Yesterday we had more than 100 people watching at the same time. Can we reach that target again? We will find out here. GRS, they are now taking quintuple Type 71s, 1 T100 LTs, and a WZ-113s. RN, on the other hand, will take double IS-4 T57 Heavy, a U100, a Leopard 1, and potentially double Type 71, but RN is now in deep trouble. It's not a time to go on tilt, but as we saw yesterday, Jokes was on a downward spiral. I think they were down 3-1 at one point, is it? Or is it they were down 3-2? And they won 2 matches in a row to win the entire round. RN has to do an even better job, but we do see beforehand that teams can still make a comeback despite being 1-3 down. And also being 0-3 down. I still remember Mercy versus 7 Star. Mercy was leading 3-0 and 7 Star just absolutely make a stunning comeback, bring it to a 4-3. And what more to like in a derby match? This is a Japanese derby, and will RM pull this off? Can GRS bring it to a 4-1? We'll find out now. Let's have high now. GRS red team from the north spawn with RM blue team from the south spawn. Actually, we'll see 2564. 0771 already spotted. I think this is the Iron Red tank. Not reloaded just yet, but it's pretty much a focus fire. Tries to shut 7710 down, but Iron Red tank is spotted. This is not good. I don't think he should stay up there for longer. He wasn't able to put shots onto the tanks that are going into A. They have to sort that out again, whether it's a good idea to put T57 Heavy up there, or maybe another tank, which is going to reload more quickly with the clip. So, we're going to be seeing Wadu in the IS-4, and GRS is potentially coming down to shut Wadu out. GRS definitely feeling the blood, smelling blood here. And RN not having the hit point pool advantage, but at the same time we're seeing the double Type 71s coming from behind. This could absolutely be a good move, but then GRS has already pulled backwards, and GRS is absolutely not allowing RN to flank from behind. 77 will get shots at. That's not a shot that's not a move that GRS warranted. But we can also see RM putting shots onto GRS, but they have lost a lot of hit points already because of Wadu in a tough position. And the Type 71s are really desperate in putting shots in. They've managed to bleed GRS so far, and they haven't lost so many hit points, so this risky move seems to work out. But then gradually our GRS has made enough hits for them to pull off more than 2,000 hit points of advantage, and this is really not looking good at all for RN. D is finally captured by RN, and but they have to kill more than 2 tanks to bring it back. And RN, can they bring back the hit points though? This is going to be really tough, but there is still time potentially. Lancelot and Wadu very, very low. These 3 tanks of Type 71s are a little bit trapped there. They have to conserve hit points, but I think RN needs a miracle to win this one. This is not really looking good, especially when Lean and Chapman now. Oh, great shots onto Lean. Trash and Romeo is going to be in trouble, and Iron Rectangle also a little bit in trouble, but Lancelot and Water coming to push from behind. I think GRS was kind of making a false move and trying to push onto Romeo and Trash. The Warrior has now come in, but this is steadily going in favor of GRS. Still, it's not over yet. Water's at one shot, and here is... Oh, misses and bounces though. Aaron might have a lifeline here. That is to say, Aaron has reduced the hit point pool deficit, and Chapman now is down to one shot. Oh my goodness me. GRS potentially could throw this one away. Water is now down. Lena one shot, and RN definitely, they absolutely need this. ARWV coming in, but Iron Bretang has put all the shells onto ARWV on a long drum reload. Lancelot is now down, but Lean is also dead. Trash has come in, tries to get 7-7-1 out of the way, but it's a bounce again. Oh my goodness me, this is going to be very close. Poppy absolutely has to put a shot onto Chapman now. Not the time to bounce. Can he do it here? The hit points are in huge favor of GRS, but it's another bounce by Poppy. Chapman now puts a great shot. Oh, Poppy needs this one. It's another bounce. Oh no. GRS will win this one 4-1 in the end. A little bit of a scary situation for GRS, but RN, I think a little bit of hesitation, and they weren't able to kill the low hit point targets, allowing GRS to share hit points nicely. And I like to see that. GRS sharing hit points really well, and they've played a great game tonight. 5 tanks doing more than 2k, and RN 4 tanks doing more than 2k. RN will lose 1-4, sadly. And I think one of the main problems is they aren't able to put their shells in. This is a huge issue that they really need to solve in the next round. And I mean, they already lost 3 rounds already. It's a double round robin, so they still have a lot of chance to bring it back. But they have to now work extremely hard here now. Well done to GRS, and do we have more results coming in here? We'll find out now. Alright, so we have ID winning Risk 4-1. This is an interesting result. Norbat still play against GV. Oh, Norbat winning some matches. We love to see that. P1 has won against Riri 4-0. And this is going to be the leaderboard. So we're just waiting for one more game to finish. That is Norbat versus GV, but Madbox has already got some results wrong. And although we got one outcome right, but it was not a good start for Madbox. However, at the same time, let's see the challenges. Let's see the lower echelon championship, where we also might have results already, because it's the best of 5 series. IBP has won against Minos 3-0, PYT 3-0 against CX and Z, and King still play against S. That's because it's the upper bracket finals, and it's going to happen tomorrow. So they're not playing tonight. Okay, so so we now go to Challengers Tournament and see, do we have results? Okay, Group 1 we have Brown 3-1 against SZ, P2 3-2 against PTW, and I have the graphic to be shown later. Next we have 180 3-0 against Rats. Ooh, that's a big result here. For 180 actually, DT won against EOS 3-1, sending EOS to the lower bracket first round. And yeah, not a good field day for for Mapbox so far, I can show you the image here. Not this one. Wait, maybe it's this one. Okay, and I'm going to send it to the front. Right, so we have Brown versus B2, that will be played tomorrow. SZ versus BTW, that they're going to play it now, very soon, in around 40 minutes or so. I mean, this is Group 2 here. Group 2, we have Wonder 180 and DT playing tomorrow. They are through to the final. Rats and EOS are going to play very soon in around 30 minutes, and it's going to be interesting. We'll see. So that means so far, let's look at Mapbox prediction again. So far, 2 outcomes were predicted incorrectly, especially Risk versus ID. People who predicted ID to win, you will get lots of points here. So, but I mean, GRS versus RN, it was predicted to be a close one, but it went in favor of GRS by a margin, by a significant margin actually. So that is also quite wrong. On the other hand, Riri versus P1, P1 won 4-1, which is really good. 4-0, sorry, which is kind of close to what was expected. And GB still playing as Nomad. Nomad is stepping up the game. Brown successfully won against PTW, SZ, but it was PTW who lost to P2. So again, Model 180, the one who won against Rats, not Rats, and DT has won against EOS. So we only got 3 correct outcomes so far. No correct scoreline prediction. So not a good field day, but it is what it is. I mean, Blitz tournaments are highly unpredictable. Yesterday was pretty much an anomaly. So hi Methody, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in to my stream. No, CRQ is streaming on Bilibili. The link is on Wargaming's official Discord server. There are no codes, but there are containers that you can get tonight, and the instructions are at the start of the stream. So go ahead and check that out. Okay, let's check if we have results for the professionals tournament now. And GB has won Nomad 4-2. So commendable effort from Nomad tonight. They won 2 matches against GB, and I think that matters a lot for them. So well done here. I'm going to update my graphic to pretty much reflect the results. Right. Okay. We'll go back to this very quickly. To the lounge we go, and Let me just. Okay, next we have risk versus. Okay, while I'm generating a new set of odds, I will mute myself. I'll be back soon. I think we have time to analyze one match. Let me say hello to everyone so far. But we have the new odds here. Let's say the new odds from Mapbox. Mapbox is making the following predictions. Round 4, we have Risk versus GV predicted to win 4-2. But Risk lost the third round, so this could be an interesting one to watch, to be honest with you. I'll be following RD versus P1, predicted to go to a tiebreaker, but P1 is predicted to pit it to the end. Nomad versus RN is predicted to win at least one match here. So can Nomad continue their upwards form? RN desperately needed a win tonight, and against Nomad, it's a match that they have to win in order to stop the rot. GRS against Riri is predicted to get really close, and that's to be expected because both of these teams have played against one another, including a win coming from Riri. So this is another match that you don't want to miss. Which will be streamed by Seong Kim, by the way. So both of us are streaming matches in round 4. That's potentially going to a tiebreaker. On the other hand, challengers to the lower bracket first round, we have SZ predicted to win PTW 3-2 and EOS predicted to win Rats 3-2. Wow. Surprising. What's more to say? I was double checking. It is the case. I am surprised, to be honest with you. That's because EOS and Rats are quite close in the power rating, but has EOS won against Rats before? Potentially yes, and that's why it was predicted this way. But we will see. Because currently I have Rats above EOS. But yeah. But from my power rating, the rolling power rating, RN has dropped to the 6th place. Which, before the professional tournament begins, RN was in the 2nd place. So it was quite a drop here. Brown has already overtaken Nomad in the top 8 in the rolling power rating. But if Nomad manages to win some games in the next few rounds, they could overtake Brown again, and if Brown had an upset, their points will drop a lot, so there's still that. Okay, so now I'm going to generate the news. Generate a new set of graphics. So, the next ID versus P1, and then it was not so young streaming Nomad versus RN. It was Riri versus GRS. Let me update that. Okay, here we are. It's updated now. Looking at the table so far, we already have 3 rounds played. ID and P1, they have 3 round wins and tied at the top of the table. The match I'm going to be streaming will decide which clan will stay in the first place tonight. That can have some big consequences. RN, they absolutely have to win something. They are currently at the foot of the leaderboard, but they are in the 6th place because they won 5 matches. So if they keep up the pace with the number of matches they win, then they could potentially be in a favorable position when it comes to the tiebreaker rules. At the same time, we have GB, GRS, Risk tied with 2 round wins. But GV is ahead of the rest of the pack because at least they have won against GRS, and that puts GV in the third place currently. GRS and Risk, they were both separated because of the match wins. Well, actually, no, it's a head-to-head match wins because GRS have 3 head-to-head match wins against GV and Risk. So this is going to be important for them. But again, at the end of the professional tournament, all clans will have played one another twice. So this is probably not the most accurate thing. Let's hope we have some time in analyzing a match, and I'm going to do it very quickly. But like yesterday, I probably don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to go very quickly. I think I will analyze the second match on Blackoville, where GRS won. And go away ad. I'm going to mute the ad for now. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, NetForce. Thank you for joining in. There we go. Let's see if I can quickly go through. Here we are. Okay, let's go. I would say they could have won against ID. Hard to win against GRS. So I think a common denominator of GRS games is that they get the caps very early, and they always get the cap lead, so that the other team is going to have a hard time in rotating. It kind of works on the APAC server because there are not a lot of teams that could find a way to rotate and shut you down. But this is something I think a lot of teams need to work at. GRS is really using this to their utmost advantage, and we'll continue to see what's going to happen. Now we're seeing GRS going to send the entire team over to C, but we could see potentially Crossfire coming in. Romeo love how they set up their guns to spot tanks that are trying to cross. They were unlucky not to punish Lean for that, but it could have been tragic for him. Spotted. Oh, Lean has been shot at, but I think there are some bounces there. That means GRS was only able to lose some hit points here. Only one tank losing hit points. Again, RN does not have the hit point pool lead at the start because they have taken 2 T100 LTs. The cap points once again in favor of GRS because they captured C. Oh, this is also. Oh, I have. Oh, Chatbed now is hesitating on getting B. Yeah, I really like what Chatbed now is doing. And there are tanks from GRS that could potentially punish RM for trying to shut down Chatbed now. But as you can see later, Chatbed now hesitated a lot whether to get B or not. But if I were him, go for it. It's not like RM would get away with decapping B. If I were RM, potentially, if Chatbed now decides to go for B, I would just go down, take that tank out. But it's not like Chatbed now would go down without a good reason. It's not like Chatbed now would go down without putting a lot of damage onto the world. So pretty much a give and take situation. But I would make a gamble and capture B anyway. Because why not? Put more pressure onto RN. Because if you get 2 caps, that means you have twice the rate of cap point increase. And that can be very instrumental. That would completely change the rhythm of the game. Suddenly, you go from 5 cap points per 2 seconds of increase to 10 cap points per 2 seconds of increase. You just have the time for the opponents to make to find a way to shut you down, and that can be very important. The amount of time you deduct from the opposing team might panic. So this is a thing to remember. And especially when you have positions to shut whoever's trying to decap you there, it's something that is worth going for, in my opinion. But again, it's once I would say, it's a risk. It's a risk, and that is why Winter by Knockouts, I advise going against B. You will get the cap. You could get a cap there, but then the problem there is you would lose a tank quite easily. This is not really the case. It's Blackoville. It's a different story, and we will see. He has to decide whether or not to get B. But the world has shot. The chat ban now, you can go for B. I think the world will get absolutely shut down. And then you can see exactly why the world can't go in there exactly. Cujo might have shots. 771 will definitely have shots, and even Lean potentially have shots. Oh well, of course chat ban now will put shots into the world if the world decides to push, so yes. Go for B, not a problem for me. And if he gets shot at by a lot, just pull back quickly behind the rock, he will get cover, not a problem. And if he dares to try to reset B, but at the same time Trash is there, RN needs to figure out what to do here. But Chappa now is seemingly a bit too afraid of capturing B. I would have just gone that. I think he. Yeah, so let's continue to watch. There's not a lot happening here, just pretty much both teams holding, and we'll begin from here now. We are seeing RN gradually pushing the line forward, trying to figure out where most of the tanks of GRS are, but... Okay, at this point, RN has found 3 tanks. They just don't know R3-4, 771 and Cujo. And there's still some time for RN to figure out what to do here. It's quite tempting to push onto Heroes immediately, but they have time to find out where most of the tanks are. So if they manage to spot up 771 and Cujo as well, that could be important then. That means with Heroes so far away from the rest of the team, this is an isolated tank that RN could go for. But at the same time, they will have to know that these tanks over there is a pressure point and RN could lose a lot of hit points if they don't conserve their hit points there nicely. And it's a very tough position to defend because it's somewhat out in the open actually. So if we are seeing RN pushing immediately to Heroes, at the same time GRS could push there to get to the spawn and shut the tanks down. And it all depends on how many tanks GRS spots and whether they will make a push. Because if RN only puts like 2 tanks to rush onto Heroes, they don't need to rush to RN spawn, because what GRS can also do, Cujo can come in to support Heroes, and Chatbam now can also move back to support Heroes. So it all depends on how many tanks are rushing GRS and see if they need to make that move over to the spawn. Okay, let's continue to watch. But at the same time, RN, they are losing hit points. Oh, but while they're also losing some more hit points here. Oh, but Lean gets absolutely tapped. So that is important. That will bring RN closer to in terms of hit points. Will RN look to make a push onto Heroes? This is a move that I could call. Oh my goodness me, Iron Breath. And that's what I said, that RN, this is the pressure point here. This is difficult to defend. And RN needs to know this one. They need to know the numbers and what they might want to do. So I get absolutely shot at here. Now down to 1,444 hit points. Oh, now Cujo is spotted. They know there is a 5th tank, and 771 might get spotted as well, so potentially they will know the position of 6 tanks. In this case, I think now I will make a call and push Heroes without any hesitation at all. But Lead also gets absolutely smacked in the face. So the hit points are still in favor of GRS. RN is very... And this is what they are doing right now, so that's a good call. I'm going into the room before I forget to do that. Okay, let's see. Let's
Very
continue.
leaky, but we are seeing a move over here. This is a move that
Go in. Just go straight in because the rocks there are gonna give you cover. Brawl. Heroes will not be well supported if in this position because he is in the valley. So just go in because also if you stay here, you're on a high ground that is prone to shots from your right actually. So just commit to that.
that I would call. But Lancelot, he is having a terrible day so far. He has to get all the shots in now. It's not the time to hesitate. It's time to levitate. And Wadu is going to put more shots onto Heris. Heris is now in trouble. And RN, the other tanks there, they have to stay behind and beware of GRS trying to push onto RN spawn. But RN...
And I like what GRS is doing. With RN hesitating, Heris just need to pull back, conserve hit points, absorb the push. And GRS didn't push just yet. Good call there. They don't need to do that here. And I don't have much time left, so what happens that GRS then makes a move because they have bled enough of RN, and that's a good call here. And everything just went south for RN because RN was just hesitating on the other side, and these tanks weren't able to conserve enough hit points, and they were quite isolated and unsupported. So this is what I was saying, that you should kind of bring your team all together and something like that. And yeah. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to get you the trailer of the clans introduction. Okay, we are now in the game, and let's see if the score lines are appearing correctly. It is the case, and we haven't missed much. We saw Spartan Sword getting some spots in to P1, but also at the same time we have like Galira. I think he is trying to say gorilla, but it's an apparent misspelling here, or maybe it's not what I was thinking of. So he has spotted up a couple of tanks of ID, just only one, not a couple. So Chromatros has lost some hit points. P1 is also known as Revenant, and this is the exact team name as GSM in the winter season. And most of the players were from E7 as well. So this is why I included E7 results in the introduction. But as P1 gets C, Chromatros and ST gets shot at. P1, you might also know that their clan name is called Poltergeist. I love that clan name, so we'll see. We have Pixels there trying to get in a position, but Lasso for me gets into cover just in time. Pixels is really, really far ahead here. I feel worried, but we will see. So far, ID has done a better job in conserving hit points, but P1 has lost some hit points already. We will see Galera going back to the spawn, and we might see P1 making a rotation and shot ID down. But P1 is also very spread out, so this could be a problem. But they're trying to get Spartan Sword out of the way. AFK has been shot at, but P1 is under a big hit point pool disadvantage, so this could backfire tremendously. I am really not
feeling good about this. But Lair has put a good shot onto Campen. P1 has already made a move, really daring move. This is a 3 versus 3. It's all about focus fire right now. Campen is now really low. At the same time, P1 is going to make a move to ID spawn. But it's all about P1's focus fire, target priority, and also getting the tanks out. They want Spartan Sword out of the way, but ID is making it difficult for P1 to do that. They're desperately trying to kill as many tanks as they could in a numerical disadvantage. As Spartan Sword is killed, Z-Park is really low. Gets taken out by Nitroglycerin. Golira is trying to run away. Oh, dodges 2 shots. Oh wow, yes. Run, continue to run. He might be able to survive actually at this moment in time. Another dodge. Oh my lord. Golira was really fortunate not to die there. ID would feel really bad about this, but it's not over yet for ID because they could win if P1 is unable to get the kills here. Or if they were able to get the Golira out, it's not going to be the case because P1 was unable to get the tanks out quickly here. ID, they got A and B and they got the victory that they really need, and well done to ID, and that was exciting match from P1. They almost got it. I think what went wrong for them potentially might be on the other side. But then also questions would be raised where they should have focused too much onto Spartan Sword when Spartan Sword is apparently running away and trying to reduce the efficiency of P1. But then it's 3 versus 5 pretty much there, so for P1 to kill 2 tanks in that area, that's already a good thing to see. So P1 will lose the first one. ID 1-0 so far. Right, so now ID is going for the T110E5 again. ID loves this tank, and they are going for triple Type 71s, double IS-4, and a Sheridan. P1 on the other hand, they're going for triple Crown Wagon, double Type 71, a Sheridan, and a VK72-01K. Can P1 do it again? Can P1 do better this time? Or will they go for a more defensive setup? But them taking triple Crown Wagons, it's going to be an interesting move, and we will see about this. Let's go in. Thank you for more than 70 people watching here so far. Let's get more people watching now. ID from the north spawn will be going to the desert side, and P1 will put their tanks onto A potentially. But let's follow the Golira for now. He will spot up a lot of tanks trying to go into C here. Oh, already a couple of tanks. Oh, that's crucial. That gives a lot of information for P1 to work with. And it's going to be interesting. P1, what will they respond to ID's apparent defensive move? But at least they know that they can get A easily. That is something that they know here. Great shot from Spartan Sword onto AFK. Ex-AFK, not BAFK. And with A captured, that will give them the hit point, the cap point lead. But also great shot into Spartan Sword. I think that was a little bit of a careless mistake here. He is going to run away. And the Golira needs to keep running away, but Spartan Sword gets shot at the second time. Campen is also getting shot at. Will P1 push onto Campen? We will see the Golira looking to put a shot onto Campen, maybe not. He's not going to make himself known to ID. He's trying to get to safety. C has been captured by ID, but they have to rotate because they don't have the cap point advantage. How would they do this? This is going to be difficult. But they're trying to put some blind shots, but they don't hit anything. They only hit the ground. Great shot to Z-Park by Golira without getting spotted here. So the hit points are now ticking in favor of P1, but they have lost some hit points as well with XAFK and Chromatrox. Hit points are now neck and neck. P1 with the hit point cap lead and hit point pool lead. They're definitely looking at B not being captured by the rest of the team. I mean Team ID. Campen is there, ready to get B if P1 gets distracted by ID's push. But will ID push back from their spawn, or will they do something different? Florietica gets shot at. ID keeps on bleeding, and that can be an issue. If they keep on bleeding, then they will be in deep, deep trouble. Campen takes a shot, and we will see. ID rotating back from their spawn now. ID, what's their call here? They're steadily dropping even more hit points. Z-Part drops more hit points. Le Gorilla absolutely terrorizing ID whichever way he could. And if he keeps on doing that, Le Gorilla is definitely going to be the man of the match. But this time it's a bounce onto the frontal armor for Relica. You can't blame him for this bounce, actually. But ID is going to make a push onto A. And it's ID, it's P1 ready for this. It's all about focus fire. Arrowpath needs to get to safety. More shots have now come in. Hit points are now in huge favor of P1. But at the same time, Florietica drops into B. Milkshake and ST is going to deal with this situation. P1 absolutely needs to sort their hitless out. La Galera needs to start coming in. But B is not going to be captured by Florietica. P1 is taking care of that. Pixels and Nitroglycerin. No, it's going to be Pixels that will put a shot onto Arrowpath, but Arrowpath just gone down just in time. It's a good shot onto Arrowpath by Pixels, so Pixels is pretty much trapped on the dunes here. And he will be taken down next by ID. He has almost reloaded the second shell, but he is permatracked, and that is not good here. Great shot onto Florietica, but LDS will kill Pixels. Hit points still in huge favor of P1 at the moment, but there are lots of low hit point pool targets of ID. The numerical advantage could haunt them hard if they don't start killing off tanks. At the same time, ID has the cap lead and they're trying to get B now. LDS on fire. Le Galera is now trying to stay alive, but he couldn't. Oh, I think P1 could throw this one away. This could be big. But it's a track shot onto LDS by ST. What happened there for P1? They were looking really good, but then they just dropped the ball and they weren't able to get the low hit point pool targets, and oh my god. This is a game that P1 might want to forget, and if they manage to win this one, then good for them, but question is, can they do so? ST absolutely needs to stay alive, and I don't think it will be the case unless there is like a miracle happening. ID, they have a cap lead. They could get into A. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is tough. This is tough stuff. Not sure if it is time now. I think ID will take this one here home. Florietica brawling with Nitroglycerin. Well done to ID. Questions will be raised to P1. They were unable to get the tanks out of the way. ID doing a better job in the brawl, despite losing so many hit points in the defense while trying to rotate. P1, it was pretty much a win for them, but they completely threw that away with their inability to kill the tanks out. And maybe it's the focus fire for P1. Maybe it's just ID doing a brilliant job in rotating the low hit pool targets away from P1's site. And I believe it's the latter that is the case. ID really worked hard in this one. And I mean, they look like contenders now, to be honest with you. I mean, they could potentially rise to the second place tonight on the power rating if they won against P1. This is going to be huge. If they won by a good margin, then I think we can all safely say ID are going to be installed as favorites. Now, we are now going on to Descent, where we are going to be seeing changes. P1 will take double T100 LT, double T110D5, double Krabwagen, and a Type 71. On the other hand, ID double T110D5, quadruple Type 71, and an Optic 907. Is P1 easy to beat? If they continue to throw games like last match, then I would say yes. I'm sure they are not easy to beat. But they definitely need to sort out. They don't want to lose matches like this when they were in such a huge advantage. And that's the sense, it's all about brawls. ID, can they win this one? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, you can't get rewards now, I believe.
Let's get this show on the road.
So we are seeing ID from the south spawn, and P1 now on the north spawn. I think like Galera will spot some tanks up. Oh, Bloryanica spotted. I think the Galera is going to... Oh, Bloryanica gets shot at, but we are seeing ID going en masse. P1's just staying near the spawn, to be honest with you. What are they going to do with the big push coming from ID? Krabwagens are now running away. I mean, the refresh speed of Krabwagens are very quick, very fast. So they're able to pull back quickly here. But at the same time, we will see the double T100 LTs coming from behind, but Bloryanica is totally ready for them. Is this a tank that the T1 LT should go for? I would not say so. It's a frontal armor. You want to go for LDS instead. LDS is the back is showing the backside, and as you can see, there are bounces coming in from the frontal armor of the Type 71. So this is why it's very important to find the target, to sort out your hit list. Now P1 will go for LDS, and they got that tank down. SC will has to stay behind nicely, but Nitroglycer is on fire. That fire couldn't be extinguished in time. He is now down to one shot and will be killed very quickly. And this is still anyone's game to call. It has descended into a maelstrom with AFK running around, but he will have to prevent getting shot at by a team ID. There is a Dorsch here coming there, and we are seeing the Galera brawling with Spartan Sword. Spartan Sword with more hit points. I think Galera will not win this fight. AFK is going to run around again, but Pixels needs to get Campen out of the way. Great shot there. Only doing one more shot. Last one for me. Great shot onto Pixels. I think ID is gradually winning this fight. Spartan Sword is now dead. Double T100 LTs are still alive at the back, and I think this can be very crucial. Great shots onto Z-Park. That means Z-Park is down. Track shot there is so important. I can't emphasize it enough. More than enough how important that is. But with the double T100 LTs, both one-shots, Campen is a one-shot as well. This could still go in favor of P1, but they have to play it really cleverly. And they are now trying to... Are they going together or are they going to separate? They aren't able to spot Lasso for me. But if I were P1, I would try to get a cap here. But ID is also trying to get a cap. They're trying to get C. AFK is staying behind to see if he could get spots. Oh, Campen is now spotted. Oh, a bounce coming from Galera. That's a lucky bounce here. Galera could have got Campen out of the fight. Now, Galera has jumped over the dunes to get A. Will get A, but they don't have the cap here. Because ID has captured C more earlier. Campen just have to stay safe and not get shut down. Lasso for me is pretty much the bargaining power for ID, and oh well, this is going to be extremely close. I think more we're almost reaching the 100 viewer mark. We want to see this exciting match happening, but Campen definitely not wanting to get spotted. There are 3 minutes remaining to go. Lasso for me has been spotted. AFK now is trying to come into the city side. He's going to gamble here. Campen looking at where the Galera is, but his right side is not spotted, with Lasso for me being a bit perma spotted, so Lasso for me is looking the other way here. I think P1 is playing this one really carefully. We're just looking at 5 cap wins per 2 seconds of increase. We are looking at around 100 seconds more to go. At this rate, ID is going to win this one by caps. We won't see all 7 minutes being used unless we see a cap stop. Will we see a cap stop? We will find out soon. Lasso for me is spotted again. So at least P1 knows where ID is going to be. But the Galera is going to be really, really cautious about this one. Maybe he has a shot on to Lasso for me. Maybe not. We will find out now. Big AFK still holding on there. There is still a world of time, to be honest with you. They're waiting for ID to change positions. This is still tense. Nothing much is happening. P1 is figuring out what to do. But I think a move will have to come from the Galera if they want to win this one. Oh, we might see a shot coming in. Lasso for me has moved. Now last AFK. No, not last AFK. Ex-AFK. Galera has dropped the ball. He is gradually coming in, but Campen will be ready if Galera gets spotted. He will put a shot in there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh! Oh! It's not going to make it out, but that's a bounce as well. Oh my lord. Campen will be smacking the table for this apparent shot here, but it's ex-AFK that needs to move now. Galera is now in deep trouble. Cap points have now taken into 800 cap points for ID. Now Campen ready again for the shots. This time he will be switching to the AP. He doesn't want to make this bad call. AFK is going to go into, not going into B. He's spotted. He's spotted. Last AFK. Oh my god. Campen's now changing. He's gonna be imported, but oh my god, Campen misses that shell, and also the Galera as well. Campen will be killed. Now P1 has the cap advantage. Lasso for me is not going to get any shots in. We have used all 7 minutes. Wow, that kill just in time will give P1 the victory, and Campen. Yikes! There are two situations where he could have brought it for ID, but he managed to have a low roll using an HE. I would not have risked with an HE shell there, because a low roll like that could happen. And then second, a miss onto the Galera, and oh my goodness me, what can I say about this? I might have made yeah, I think Wargaming, I think there's something wrong with the counter there. I was pretty sure that, yeah, that was, oh sorry, I made a miscalculation. That was 200 seconds more to go there. But what a win from P1. That was a clutch, to be honest. That was kind of a clutch. And we are saying P1 double 60 TP, double T1 JLCs, and ST in the Type 71. Chromatros, Kravvagen, and Nitroglycerin M6 Yo ID quadruple type 71's double 60 TP and Spartan Sword. Is he going for a bad shot? This great victory from P1 is going to put them on a pedestal. It's the right term for that. I might have used the wrong term. It's going to put them in such it's going to put them on upward momentum, and they really need that momentum, and they don't want to lose another match here. I think this is pretty much a wake-up call for them. They have to start performing. Already so far so good. The last match, it was very unfortunate, but it has to go down that way. Yeah. So let's go up high and see what ID is going to do here. P1 is going to the desert side. No, going to send tanks to the city side again. A Spartan Sword is spotted. We could see shots coming in from Pexos. Nope. Spartan Sword manages to... Oh, no. Spartan Sword. Bad call there. Oh my lord. Pexos misses that shot. That could have been a totally big shot on Spartan Sword. That would be like an HE shot that would have done a lot of damage, to be honest with you. But ID is going to make a push immediately, and Pexos is going to pull back. He's been tracked once, and P1, they need to sort that out. They're not exactly in a horizontal straight line, but LDS is now very, very low. We'll take a look at XAFK doing a 1v1 against Spartan Sword. Big HE shell to the backside of Spartan Sword. At the same time, we're seeing ID struggling to push anywhere forward. P1 definitely looking to distract these two tanks here. He's going to be really important. Buy time for humans to clear out all the tanks in this area here. I don't think AFK is going to last for long, but he would be very important. Pexos, great shot to arrow path, but Pexos is dead. AFK has been rammed to death. The Galera is trying to run away here. Lasso for me bounces onto Nitroglycerin, but Lasso for me gets killed. ST has to stay alive. He is the focus for ID. The hit points are in huge favor of P1 at the moment, but ST is a one-shot. But also Spartan Sword is a one-shot. Campered is going to be a one-shot. For Rienica, oh! Great shielding from Milkshake. Milkshake definitely not making it easy for Rienica to make a shot, but it's going to be C-Part that's going to make a kill shot here. C-Part gets killed by Chromatrox, and it's now 4 versus 2. Game on for P1. Well done. This is a great game here. Great defense, and ID, I think they weren't able to find tanks to isolate that XAFK there running around to try and brawl with the T100LT, distracted ID's forces. Exactly what P1 needs. P1 needs to get a numerical advantage on the defense, and they got that, and they had time to clear out all the tanks near the spawn. Exactly what P1 needs. And ID, they should not leave tanks behind when they make a push. They have to get all the tanks in. They have to be quick. It's a good call. But it's a good call, but they were not quick enough in getting tanks out, and now it's even 2-2. Who would have thought that would happen, to be honest with you? At one point, ID would be on a 3-0 victory, but then suddenly the win on Blackoville happened, and the second match on Blackoville, P1 comfortably won against ID. We're now going into Navy Frontier. It's now level pegging for both teams. There were rewards, but there are no rewards now. And Navy Frontier, it's going to be ID taking triple type 70. I'm not sure if I announced that already. Triple type 71, 1 FE215B, 1 Kramwagen, 160 TP, and T100 LT, P1 double Kramwagen, double type 71, 1 T100 LT, 1 T95 E6, and the VK 90.01P. Yes, we broke the 100 viewers, the margin, the barrier of 100 viewers
Thank you very much. I highly appreciate this. Are we going? Naval Frontier.
Let's go.
Let's go. ID red team from the north side with P1 blue team from the south side. Let's follow Legalira in the T100 LT. And we could see shots coming in. Maybe not. CPOC spotted in the crab wagon. Nitroglycerin tries to blind fire, didn't hit anything in the end. But the rest of ID's team been spotted going into A. Will P1 try get C? But at the same time we have Campen running away, no. Not trying to peek out and get shot by literally everywhere from P1. They will allow P1 to get cap lead. Not the end of the world, to be honest with you. I would rather not drop too many hit points than to lose, than to get a cap lead and then pretty much lose a tank, essentially. So, like what P1 and ID is thinking. But they were unable to get A as well. P1 has done a good job in resetting the spawn, and that's the gap, because that is Milkshake in this position doing that. So ID, they can't get any caps. They are in trouble, but oh my goodness me, P1 immediately pushes onto Campen. Campen left it way too late in running away. Chromatrox is going to find Campen, but it's a miss there. Campen might be able to run away now. ID could make a counter push, so Chromatrox needs to stay behind. Meanwhile, P1 now needs to make a call to push onto ARWV and that's all for me, because these three tanks will not last for long, like what ID is doing. But P1, they absolutely have to come in. I don't think getting B would be an option, and this is not what they're doing right now. Great call. Pixels will find last for me. Last for me is the focus for P1. At the same time, ID is now barreling in, trying to get perimeters out of the way. ST is now come forward. P1 is now fortifying this location. ARWV is at the top, putting great shots there. But Pixels returned fire. It's all about efficiency. CPOC is now dead. Last over me is Ram to death. Chromatros is now dead. XARK is now dead. It's now going whichever which way. It's now 5 versus 5. P1 will get ARWV all the way quickly here. And this is getting really, really intense. ST will put a shot and bounce onto Florienica, meaning ST will die here. But Florienica gets killed, important kill from 57. But look at this, P1 has map control, and this is exactly the position they want to be in. They also have the cap control as well. ARWV is dead finally, and with Campen killed by Legalira, bring it to a 2 versus 4. This is surely going in favor of P1. What a comeback it is. Great shots from Pixels onto Spartan Sword LDS. Now quite low. And look at this. This is going to get brutal here. With Milkshake down, LDS is now down. And Nitroglycerin coming in with full clip. Spartan Sword will have to say goodbye in Naval Frontier and go back to the garage. And ID now, they're on the back foot here for the very first time. P1 has won 3 matches in a row. They could have originally be at a 3-0 advantage, but then suddenly things changed. That loss on the first match on Descent seems to have taken a huge toll in the mental status of ID, and they are going down, going at a downward spiral, and they really need to get out of this, because this is apparently ID going on tilt, and P1 feeling really confident now with 3 wins on the back. They just only need to win 1 more, and they will get to the top position tonight if they do so. Well done to P1. Amazing, amazing game.
When the pink team's going to play tonight, not now. This is the APAC server, not the EU server, so the pink team will not be here. Hello. Oh, 121 people watching. We have more people watching than yesterday at one single point. Thank you all for the huge support. Will we go to a tiebreaker tonight? Will ID come back and show them what they're capable of? I think what happened to ID last match was that they were caught off guard, and P1 timed every push well. Not because ID made any major mistakes. P1 just outplayed them, and they had a good strategy. They followed from that, timed everything right. Focus fire was on point. You can't fault them for what they did in the last match. That is a flawless match in my opinion. ID on the south side. Let's look at Spartan Sword in the Sheridan. He will spot up the tanks of P1, and P1 will they get spotted crossing. Ooh, the VK 90.01P didn't get spotted on the crossing. I would be surprised if they do. At least Nitroglycerin gets spotted, so it's a bit surprising. But look at Pixels here, and the T95 E6 will be held down in that bush. But ID is now in position. Z-Park blind fires. Campen blind fires. ST didn't get shots at, but P1 might be waiting a little bit. No damage been done from both teams, but Legolira taking a different route to go into A. And ID completely missed that, because Legolira is sticking close to the red line. But ST has been spotted. Legolira is going to hide behind ST and hope that he could get A. But oh my god, Campen, what is ST doing? He's not shooting Legolira. And what is Legolira doing as well? Why is going beyond A? ID will have the cap lead, definitely. There is some miscommunication happening right here. ST has to keep on. Oh, ST has taken a lot of hits here though. Oh no. We can see now ID responding to this. P1 is in trouble. The VK 90.01P might be terribly out of position though. They finally got A, but at a huge cost. They have to do a 2 versus 1 here. Z-Park does have to wait for this one. He does not want to be. Oh, great shot to ST. And P1 might be losing this one here. ID has to make use of this advantage, especially when the VK 90.01P is very much out of position. Florielica just jumps onto ST and Ram kills that tank. And P1 definitely will try to connect with the rest of the team to get LDS out of the way, but last AFK, no, XAFK is looking at a different target here. And XAFK will be killed by Florielica. And it's now 7 versus 5. Look at the hit point push sharing of ID. Absolutely wonderful. P1 will get C, but at this moment in time, I'm not thinking about the caps. I'm thinking about getting the hit points and the caps back. They still have the hit points here, but they don't have the numerical advantage. Their shot efficiency, the effective DPM will go against them. The VK 19.01P, they absolutely need Last for Me out of the way. And they got it out of the way before Last for Me is able to pull back. Milkshake misses that shot. But Pixels is not going to last for long. It's now 6 versus 4. And we're seeing shots onto LDS. Chromatrox is now brawling with Florielica, but it's a bounce though. ID, I think they will take this one home. Great job to ID. They have managed to make a good comeback. We're going to a tiebreaker surely. I don't see any way that P1 is going to win unless they start killing tanks out of the way. Chromatrox instead is 3 versus 6. What can you do about this one? Well done to ID. Their inability to cap A, I think there were some huge communication issues there. They could have taken that cap a lot earlier and pulled back a lot earlier as well. I will also doubt whether the VK 90.01P going up this area is a good idea. Pretty much allowed the tanks near A to be completely isolated. BK isn't exactly the fastest tank in the game, so I would go against that. I would take the Type 71 instead. That is a much more much safer choice in my opinion. And ID, they got B as well. That is going to put P1 in a much tougher situation, and still the hit point pool sharing is brilliant. None of the tanks here is a one-shot, but there are 6 tanks that are still alive. Campen is going to die unless there is a miracle happening, which is possible. They really need to kill 2 tanks now, and Milkshake needs to kill Aeropath. It's the case. They're heading by a frag here. Nitroglycerin, great shot onto Florielica. B is now getting cap stop, but I don't think they are going to get the kill just in time. ID wins this one. Bring it to a 3-3. Tiebreaker, boys. Tiebreaker. Wow. This is the second tiebreaker I have on APAC server. What's more to like? Thank you, APAC server, for bringing everything to a tiebreaker. And we have P1 3 tanks doing more than 2k and ID 6 tanks doing more than 2k. This is the ID that I know. Well done, ID. And we're now on to Fast. What an amazing match here. And looking at ID, they might be taking double Sheridan's quintuple Type 71s. P1, are they going to drop the double VK90? I think it's going to be the case. They're changing. They're going to take a saver tank. They're going to be taking saver tank choices. And we will see Legalira taking the T100 LT this time. Milkshake in the FE215B. And we are going to be seeing quadruple Type 71s and Pixels. Is he going to take the T95 E6, or is he going to change into another tank? Yes, Adrian, I agree that it's quite entertaining to watch APAC server. I mean, this year is not exactly the brightest year for the APAC server, but still, it's comparable to last year. Last year was like the peak of the APAC server, but what we are seeing here is some amazing stuff, and I hope they can continue to improve, especially next year. It's going to be a big year, and ID P1 now double T100 LTs. Quadruple Type 71 and an FE215B. People are questioning what P1 is doing, and I also have my doubts on what P1 is doing on there in the last match, so don't ask me. I don't have an answer to that, but ID versus P1 match point to both teams. Tiebreaker. We are all here for this. An ID, red team from the South Spawn. We're seeing Campen in the Sheridan. I always love to push the safe bar for some reason. But Campen is going to get spots. Oh, Milkshake spotted. But AFK, it's not the one getting C, it's Pixels getting C. AFK spotted. But we are seeing C going to be captured here. Well done to P1. They will get a cap lead, but ID. 5 tanks going straight onto A. Are they going to make a full push? Legalira will be the first to spot it out if ID makes that call. XAFK gets shot at. Not a good area to lose hit points here. Legalira has been spotted. Spartan Sword has been spotted. Legalira only spotted 2 tanks here, but he's going to run away because he doesn't want to lose too many hit points. Great call, although not a lot of information can be derived with that, with those spots. At least Legalira will not be shut down so early in the game, but P1 needs to stay alive and not lose too many hit points. With ID getting A as well, they could potentially go into D, because P1, they don't have a lot of tanks there exactly. If I were P1, I would just rotate out from the spawn and try to pull the line backwards behind C and try to create attention onto D. Okay, now that P1 has spotted tanks of ID near their cap and shots been done, now P1 might be pushing the line a bit forwards near the spawn, and potentially XAFK and Milkshake. Are they going for D, or are they going to help these Type 71s in pushing A? It's going to be a difficult call, but ID will cap D. Pixels get shots at. Not a good start for P1. They have lost a lot of hit points here, and now the hit points are, I mean, the hit point pool deficit is more than 2,000 in favor of ID. ID just need to stay alive now, needs to stay safe. They're doing better in the hit point pool sharing, and also they have more hit points at the moment. P1, they need a miracle. They need to have a miracle coming from somewhere. It's going to be hard. This is going to be extremely intense again. I don't know what's going to happen, but P1, they absolutely have to hope that ID keeps on dropping hit points. CPark drops some hit points. ID also not exactly doing a nice job in conserving hit points. CPark gets shot at again. Last hope for me gets shot at. Now P1 has made a move to try to get D. There is still time though. It's 8 cap points of increase per 2 seconds. We're really talking about 50 more seconds to go for P1. I hope I got the calculation right. Last hope for me. Get shot at. And we're seeing ID rotating back to the spawn. XAFK tries to get D. Can he do it? Florienica coming to stop that from happening, but Chromatron is exactly ready to stop Florienica from trying to recap. Or on last for me. He is going to put a shot onto ST, stopping P1 from pushing, but the hit points are now neck and neck. D has been captured by a P1, and ID are they making a push onto P1 here. This is all or nothing. P1 now has the advantage. Chromatrox is now coming in, but he can't really do that because Florienica is stopping that from happening. Milkshake is now coming forward, and Nitroglycerin needs to stay back because he is pretty much a one-shot. But both of these tanks bounces onto Lasso for me. This can still go whichever which way. Chromatrox 1 versus 1 against Florienica. Oh, but they are trying to get ARWV out of the way. Good call here. P1, Milkshake needs to start to come in to get ARWV here. But focus fire from P1 is not good. Not really good. They are allowing ID to hit on push share, and once again it could come back and haunt them if they are unable to get the low hit on pool targets out of the way. But not to say that ID has the best focus fire here as well, because P1 is also sharing the hit points nicely. It's all down to their shot efficiency now, whether they are able to put all their shells in, where they are able to bounce fewer shells. P1 now only has 4 tanks alive. The cap points are still in favor of ID, but maybe not for long. And ST absolutely have to put a shot here. Put a shot onto Spartan Sword. Le Gorilla has put a shot onto Campen. Ram kills that. And Florienica. Oh! Spartan Sword. Oh! Kills Pexos. Chromatros is dead. Le Gorilla is the last person standing. But Spartan Sword has been taken out. Le Gorilla has to run away and get back to safety. Oh my lord. Le Gorilla. Can he survive? My lord, this is getting really intense. Le Gorilla is now absolutely going for A. Yes, needs to stay safe. Get shot at for once. Great shot from CPark, but this is pretty much... Oh my lord. Will ID overtake P1 in the cap once they do? P1 will try to get A now, but CPark will be there to stop that from happening. He's a one shot now. Unless CPark is able to put a shot in there, I think ID will win this one. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Le Gorilla. Come on. Oh, it's a bounce. Very unlucky, that one. But CPark, oh my god. They could do this. They could potentially do this. Oh my lord. CPark misses onto Le Gorilla. But the time is running out. The time has run out. Oh lord. PID getting C just in B just in time to prevent P1 the Galera to kill Z-Park. Oh my lord, this has gone down to the wire once again. ID just pipped the win. What a game to finish on. I have to say, this is edge of the seat stuff. Both clans have all the opportunity to seal the win, but both clans, especially P1, the focus fire is off, is a bit off. But what P1 has done really well here is that they have hip and push shared nicely. it was very difficult for ID to focus fire, but I mean, P1 has a better opportunity to focus fire in my opinion. I think it's something they have to sort it out. Maybe it's because everything has gone into this array, they weren't able to sort out the focus fire, so you can't really blame them in this situation. And I think this is what EU teams are really good at. They are able to focus down the tanks and get a hit list sorted, and they are well trained in that situation. So I think they can learn something from the EU server for the really top teams in this situation. But I would say they have a lot of opportunities where they could have brought it home. They have done a good job in chipping away hit points of ID. It was really down to the wire. It was really down to that T100 LT bouncing that first shot onto Z-Park. Had he penetrated that shot into Z-Park, I think P1 will have this one. Well done to ID. That's a win here. That was a win. That was our really great win. And that means ID winning P1 4-3 will bring ID to the top spot. Meanwhile, we have GV losing to Risk 4-0. Oh my lord. Nomad unable to win anything from RM, but RM desperately needed this win, and they will go home with a 4-0 win. Riri, well done there. They have managed to beat GRS 4-3. That means the table will look a little bit will look even more interesting now. And here is the leaderboard. Here is the leaderboard. After tonight's matches, IG will be at the top of the table with 4 round wins. P1 will be in the second place, despite losing to ID, barely, because they have more match wins. They haven't played against Risk yet, so the tiebreaker cannot be decided here. And those games will happen tomorrow. So that means P1 is ahead of Risk for tonight. GV tied with GRS with 2 round wins, and again GV won against GRS earlier, so they are still in the top 4. RN finally winning against Nomad. They are still in the 6th place, but they will get an important round win, and tomorrow will be very important. Tomorrow, as you can see from the lower bottom right hand corner, they will be up against GB, Riri, and also Risk. And if they are able to win 2 of the matches here, 2 of the games here, that will put them in a much better position in getting the top 4. And I think there is still a lot to play for. And even Riri has a chance of getting into the top 4. I would not rule them out completely. But after tonight, I will get well, tomorrow will be Challengers Tournament. We'll follow that here. And I would actually take a look at the results of Challengers Tournament. The lower bracket first round have been played. And we will see which teams will get eliminated. SZ! Well done! 3-2 against PTW. Sadly, that means PTW is out of the Challengers Tournament. Rats have won EOS 3-1. That means EOS are out. Right. What day? What a day it is. I will analyze the match and then I will go. And I think the match I would want to analyze, not the Desert games. They were very brawly. And then there were the... I forgot the first one. Oasis Palms. Oasis Palms. Let's look at a second game on Oasis Palms there. Then. C-Park nearly got himself kicked from the clan. I know that ID does not do this. I know ID does better than this. But we have 145 people watching at one point. Oh my lord. Thank you all very much, and I hope you all enjoyed the Tiebreaker game, which was one of the most intense I've ever streamed. TRS always loses to Rubrik. I'm sorry, but like, yeah. It's like Serenity against Ikra. Ikra does not like to face Serenity at all, because Serenity always wins against Ikra. It's like Serenity has the handbook of how to win against Ikra, and they're doing that every single time. Alright, let's do this. Second match on Oasis Palms. Let's go ahead. Right. Okay, let's change the screen. Trying to go into C here. Oh, already a couple of tanks. Oh, that's yeah, it's crucial. That gives a lot of information for P1 to work with, and it's going to be interesting. P1, what will they respond to ID's apparent defensive move? But at least they know that they can get AE. That's a good call. They know ID is a little bit, I don't know, hesitant. It's not the right word probably. They are bunched up near as well. Not sure why they would do that, but it's probably part of their plan. But that plan meant that P1 could get A's safely. Especially when ex-AFK isn't spotting anyone crossing on to the dunes, so P1 just got A pretty much easily, and they will get a cap lead here. Easily, that is something that they know here. Great shot from Spartan's sword onto AFK, ex-AFK, not B-AFK, and with A captured, that will give them the hit point, the cap point lead, but also great shot into Spartan's sword. I think that was a little bit of a careless mistake here. He is going to run away. And the Galera needs to keep running away, but Spartan's sword gets shot at. Again. Careless mistakes. If you're getting spotted and shot at, don't go over the dudes. Get on the spotter first and leave at a safe route. The second time. Campen is also getting shot at. Will P1 push onto Campen? We will see the Galera looking to put a shot onto Campen, maybe not. He's not.
I love that he doesn't put a shot onto Campen. If he does, although I mean he has the shot that could get into the Campen. But the problem is if you shoot, you could get spotted. I have to remind you all the time. A light tank has a much better camo rating if you don't shoot anything. If you shot something, the camo rating will drop significantly. And for a tank like Sheridan, if you get spotted in that area, ID their guns are on that way. They will absolutely shut Legalera down, and Legalera knows this. So he didn't shoot onto Campen. Great call. You don't want to lose your tank. I mean, trading some hit points away of Campen in favor of losing a Sheridan. I mean, it's no-brainer what call you would make in this situation.
Going to make himself known to ID. He's trying to get to safety. C has been captured by ID, but they have to rotate because they don't have the cap point advantage. How would they do this? This is going to be difficult. But they're trying to put some blind shots, but they don't hit anything. They only hit the ground. Great shot to Z-Park by Galera without getting spotted here. So the hit points are now ticking in favor of P1, but they have lost some hit points as well with XAFK and Chromatrox. Hit points are now neck and neck. P1 with the hit point cap lead and hit point pool lead. They're definitely looking at B not being captured by the rest of the team. I mean Team ID. Campen is there, ready to get B if P1 gets distracted by ID's push. But will ID push back from their spawn, or will they do something different? Florietica gets shot at. ID keeps on bleeding, and that can be an issue. If they keep on bleeding, then they will be in deep trouble. Campen takes a shot, and we will see.
Oh, as you can see, Campen takes a shot from the Sheridan. Risky move.
ID rotating back.
But I think you could actually push. No. Good call from ID. I was thinking they could potentially push to P1 spawn as well. But problem with that is there is a Sheridan that will spot entirely your team pushing to the spawn. So what I like about ID, I think ID also knows that the Sheridan is near the spawn, so they aren't doing that exactly. They don't want their push to be spotted. So they're pushing back there and line up for a push coming from the spawn, from their own spawn. I think this is the only way that ID can do. You can try to get B, but you don't want to go first. P1, they have all the guns aiming at B. You will get absolutely obliterated if you go for B first. So ID, great. Just need a good push. The heavy tank might have to relocate as well, in my opinion. Maybe go there. Maybe in the end, could join the rest of the team in pushing and get one tank to B in the end. Meanwhile, that light tank here could farm from behind, but have to absolutely come in when P1 starts to, you know, focus down tanks. Let's continue to watch.
From their spawn now. ID, what's the call here? They're steadily dropping even more hit points. Z-Part drops more hit points. Legalera absolutely terrorizing ID whichever way he could. And if he keeps on doing that, Legalera is definitely going to be the man of the match. But this time it's a bounce onto the frontal armor for Florietica. You can't blame him for this bounce, actually. But ID is going to make a push onto A.
Oh, this is going to be important. This is now going to be a time that P1 needs to start to bring into a horizontal straight line. So that means the two tanks near the dudes need to start coming in, and then the heavy tank here needs to start getting close to B as well. Meanwhile, these two Kravagans need to stay alive and call for focus fire as much as they could. I think. Then we'll see.
It's P1 ready for this. It's all about focus fire. ARWV needs to get to safety. More shots have now come in. Hit points are now in huge favor. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. These two tanks are coming in. Milkshake will come in steadily. Poryeleka might have dropped into be a bit too early, in my opinion. And then there is CPAC, which is still very far behind. Very good opportunity for P1 to defend this push. And they just have to figure out the focus fire of P1, but at the same time, Poryeleka drops into B. Milkshake and ST is going to deal with this situation. P1 absolutely needs to sort their hitless out. Galera needs to start coming in, but B is not going to be captured by Poryeleka. P1 is great focus from ID onto Chromatrox, and Pixels and also Nitroglycerin needs to get ARWV out. Taking care of that. Pixels and Nitroglycerin. No, it's going to be Pixels that will put a shot onto ARWV. But ARWV just gone down just in time. It's a good shot. Great track shot from Lassa for me. And I think this is when things go south for P1. They still have the hit point advantage, but we will see. And Galera needs to come in now. ARWV by Pixels, so Pixels is pretty much trapped on the dunes here. And he will be taken down next by... And I think something has gone wrong here. I think something is not right. Oh, AFK is down. This is a kill that I desperately need. But there is still like CPAC at the back of the map. So that still gives P1 the numerical advantage potentially, but they already lost 2 tanks. ID, he has almost reloaded the second shell, but he is permatracked, and that is not good here. Great shot to Poryeleka, but LDS will kill Pixels. Hipwood's still in huge favor of P1 at the moment. Yes, so there are 3 tanks there. Milkshake is going to go down very soon, bring it to 6 versus 4. Finally, the tanks of ID have now come in. I think with XAFK, inability to kill Campen is a huge issue. But there are lots of low hit point pool targets of ID. The numerical advantage could haunt them hard if they don't start killing off tanks. At the same time, ID has the cap lead and they're trying to get B now. LDS on fire. Galera is now trying to... And that was a really good complication between ID to kill the Sheridan off, bringing it to a 5. To stay alive, but he couldn't. Oh, I think people could throw this one away. This could be big. And a track shot. I think this has been decided here. Now looking backwards, it's not that P1 has done a terrible job. I think they have done what they could to get the tanks out. The focus fire wasn't really off. It was pretty much a lot of things that have gone in their favor. First, they were able to take out XAFK before Campen gets killed. Second, they permatracked Pixels, and that allowed Pixels to be unable to focus fire with P1. And third, they were able to get the Sheridan very quickly. So ID, despite the T110E5 pretty much at the far back, I think he does quite some damage. It's a move that is a huge gamble which could have gone very badly for them. They got the important kills, and that is what matters for them. So in the end, it's not P1 that is doing bad here. They were very unlucky. ID was on top of their game. They got their focus fire priority sorted really nicely. Got the tanks alive. I mean, you can see there's still a lot of tanks with some hit points, despite the hit point pool. The hit points being quite close to both teams, but they have tanks alive, and that is what matters most because they have the effective DPM. So once again, it's ID doing a really great job here, and P1. I don't think you have done badly now. Now that I've watched the replay, it was pretty much a couple of things that didn't go in your way, and I would say it could have been a different story had ID not got those important kills. So this is pretty much me analyzing this match, and hope you enjoy my stream, and we'll see you back on the EU server. I'll be following Serenity tonight, and we first will be following Serenity versus Rennery team, and then again Raid is the team we'll be streaming for the second round. I mean, fourth round, Serenity versus Raid. Can Raid pick back up from the performance that they were that they were not looking for against the pink team? We'll find out tonight, and this is all for me. See you later. Goodbye.